For most of my adult life, I thought I knew what heartbreak was. And I'm sure many of you know and have been through heartbreak as well. You know what it feels like. I thought I knew how to deal with it, and I thought I knew how to possibly snap out of it. Here's what I didn't know. I didn't know the many ways a heart could break, and in different types of love. Not just in romantic relationships, but also in relationship to the work that you do and in relationship you have with yourself. This is weird because I hope that this sits and lands with you, but at the same time, I really hope it doesn't, because this is not the type of feeling, or this is the sort of pain that I wouldn't even wish on my enemies. You mean a heart can break in more ways than one? Could have fooled me. Hi honey, it's the Sarah Girl and I'm back to talk about love. And this time we're talking about the painful side of love. So heartbreak is one of possibly, I would say, part of the top 5 painful experiences or feelings that one might ever experience in their lives, you know. So when we talk about heartbreak, most people immediately relate it to what? Romantic relationships. And that's fully right, because, you know, the immediate parallel drawn generally overall is in romantic relationships. So I'll put my hand up and talk about the ones that I've been through, okay? Back in the day, earlier in life, I've had my fair share of relationships that were not the best, the ones that everyone and their mother would have been able to tell you this is not going to work out. All right? So you name it, the toxic relationships, abusive relationships, obsessive relationships, the ones that involve cheating. You know, I think all of us have been through some form of all these things by the time we've reached this time in our life, in our 30s and in our 40s. So with age and with any luck, the aim is that we get better at relationships, right? And in romantic relationships, that we learn how to be better people for each other and for ourselves as well. We learn to communicate better and to just basically be able to grow with each other. And hopefully get better at recognizing and realizing when a partner is compatible with you. Well, at least that was the case with me. I went from really low vibrating sort of relationships, and with each relationship I feel things sort of got better, because you sort of learn from the past. You know what it is that you don't really know what it is that you want. You know now what it is that you don't want. That's how I learn things apparently. I just narrow it down. And with time, there were relationships that were good. The good sort of relationships. The ones that allow you to grow, the ones that don't, they're basically not toxic relationships. Yeah. Let's call that mature love, right? So once you get that mature love, the kind love, the love that's trustworthy, you know, once you get it, you feel like, like finally, you know, I've worked hard to get here and to grow into this sort of love, and maybe it's time to get out of survival mode and go into thriving mode now, right? Because I've gotten this sort of good love that many of us hope to achieve in life and be able to experience in life. And guys, it is when that precise love, the love that is good, the love that is kind, matured, the love that you know will never intentionally hurt you, it is when that love leaves your life, when it's run its course, so they say, it is when that ends, like that's left me in the most broken of states I've ever experienced in my life. Let's just put it that way. Nothing quite prepares you or quite undoes you the way that a love like this, what happens when a love like this leaves your life. the state of brokenness and how dejected or rejected, whichever words it is that you would use. So I'm not sitting here and pretending or expecting you to believe that I'm the only person in life that has been through this sort of heartbreak. I know. All I'm doing is processing the emotions or the situations and trying to put it in more words than just the words heartbreak. I mean, we know the depths of just that phrase, but be able to sort of verbalize and put words, more words, to something that is so multifaceted and so deep. But yeah, I'm just trying to see if there is a way to piece things together, piece words together in ways that maybe you would be able to relate to. Okay, so the whole point of this is that I've been through heartbreak, and different sorts of heartbreak went deeper and deeper each time. And you know, the heartbreaks, although you grow, although you sort of you're getting better at relationships, each heartbreak hurts more. So what's the point, right? So I've dug a little bit into it for myself and my experience. The reason for that with me is that with good relationships, grief is the new emotion that comes into play with relationships and romantic relationships, and the ones that are good, the ones that you think are there to stay through seasons. Yeah, it's grief. So I thought for the longest time that grief is only allowed into the room when we're talking about physical life ending. The end of actual life, when you lose a loved one, when you lose life, when somebody's heart stops beating, that's when grief can enter into a room. I never knew that there was merit in saying that grief and heartbreak could sit at the same table. I never really experienced this until I hit my 30s. But it really is the truth. It is the ending, right? It is when you're leaving a relationship, when a relationship ends, it's an ending and it's a death. It's a death of a reality. It doesn't actually matter how long it is that their relationship has been around. It's just that things were built around it, built around this reality, this shared reality with a partner. And now that it's ended, that heartbreak brings with it a lot of grief, because it's an ending of a version of yourself as well. It's an ending of a version of the person that you thought that you would spend more time with. And yeah, it's grief. I really didn't think that grief would be something that I would relate to heartbreak. I thought it was, it's just deep. It shouldn't be put in parallel with it's the end of a boyfriend, girlfriend, or marriage, a friendship. But that's what it is, isn't it? Now, all this to say that in romantic love and with heartbreak that comes with it, I never experienced or I never realized how deep that heartbreak could be. I thought I knew because I'd been through a few in the past, but it is with the good ones that ones really tear you apart a little bit more. And I didn't know that grief was the thing that made all the difference in the world. It just goes hand in hand, right, with good love. When you lose something that you love. But yeah, let's go to the next point, guys. Another type of heartbreak that took me a while to realize is the heartbreak that can happen in the workplace. I'm talking about day-to-day jobs, so hear me out, okay? This surprised me definitely a lot. I know of many people who can compartmentalize their life and their feelings and their emotions, and they're really good at that. And honestly, hats off and salute to you, because I admire people who can do that, because for me, it's a big jumble. It's a big mix. It gets very messy. So with work, whatever it is that I do for work, I need to be 100% in and 100% passionate about the work that I'm doing. For me to be able to contribute in any meaningful way or in a way that I enjoy the work as well. I know that many people say, it's just work, right? Like, I'll just do anything. I have tried it and it just doesn't align. It doesn't sit well, and it doesn't sit with general life if I am not fully in on the job and I know that I am fully gunning it, going towards the same goals as this company or this management or whatever it is headed for. What I do for work matters because I have to be passionate about it. For me to be able to bring new things and new useful things to the table. So my work is what I take a lot of pride in. I give everything to, and it intermingles with everything else about my life. There's no segregation, not much segregation, to be completely honest. I need to believe in what it is that I do. But the thing about workplaces, and this is a reality with any relationship, right? With the workplace, with the situation, with the person, is that dynamics can change. Things transform. Nothing stays the same, right? So at the workplace, for example, dynamics can change. People can change, right? People that you used to work with might leave and you've got new characters coming to an organization. Sometimes it really works out. Sometimes it's never as it was before. And sometimes, I don't know, if it's not dynamics of a workplace that changes, it could be the goals of the workplace or that company is trying to achieve. Do they still align with you from the day that you started? When you started, maybe you had like a trajectory. This is why I'm in this job and this is what I'm bringing to the table and how I contribute and how it aligns with the rest of my life. If that changes from the company's point of view, it definitely affects you as well. It's when the goals of the workplace change, and maybe not just the goals of the larger organization or the team that you're part of. Maybe it's the methods of going about getting to those goals that you can't agree with anymore. And it's when all these things, the small things, don't align at the workplace is when, for me, I started to experience what I call a slow burn heartbreak at the workplace. I say slow burn with heartbreak at the workplace because that's exactly how it is that I experienced it. I worked at a place for 9 years and it was fantastic for the most part of it, right? It was only at the 7-year mark that I started to really question things. And it's just that, it could be the organization changed, it could be the company changed, it could be that I changed as well. It could be a clash of all those things happening at the same time. But it happened day by day, month by month, literally year by year as well. So very, very slowly, and clearly, surely, it happened for me. I never thought I would be caught dead saying that I was heartbroken because of work or at the workplace. It sounded very, very silly, but it really is what happened with me. When I stepped away from work was when I really got to see the bigger picture and really question why things were not aligning for me. And I realized this familiar ache in my chest. I was like, it can't be, right? It can't be that it is heartbreak that is coming from work because it just sounds absurd, having your heart be broken by work. And yet it is. It's the truth. When you pour everything that you are, everything that you believe in, everything that you do, you give your time, you give your life to your work, which actually all of us do, yeah? We all do give our life to our work because we spend time on it. This is what happens if you pour yourself completely into something and you're passionate about the work that you do. This is what can happen, I guess. You get heartbroken. And you best believe that emotion and that feeling of grief was something that was paired with this heartbreak as well at work. Because it's a sense of loss. It is a sense of loss of who it was that when you maybe joined the workplace, and when things started to progress, things started to change. It's a change in reality. It's a disconnect. It's an ending again. And that grief really surprised me that it could go that deep. I was a person that thought, yes, I give 100% to my work and stuff like that, but grief, heartbreak, come on, those things are reserved for life things, right? So that sort of heartbreak and that sort of grief definitely fully surprised me. I think the surprises are not gonna stop. So let's talk about them first before we forget them. The third type of heartbreak, and arguably one of the most painful forms of heartbreak that I've experienced, is this. It is the realization that I had a part to play in all the ways that I was hurt. So for example, we talked about in romantic relationships, we talked about in workplaces, right? These are just a few facets of the ways that your heart can be broken in life. When I realized that I was there, it's not something that was done to me. When I stopped playing the victim and saying that happened, this person did that to me, that happened, that situation, that was the circumstance, and all. No, when I realized fully that I participated in my pain, in the creation of this heartbreak, that was like floored me. It brought me to my knees because I was like, you let this happen. And can we talk about the disappointment that comes with that? When you're disappointed in someone else, it's one thing. When you're disappointed with yourself, when you realize that you have broken your own heart, you did it. Like, how do you get out of that? When you realize that you had a part to play in it. All this pain, where were you when this was happening? Why didn't we put a stop to it when it was happening? It was not just something that was handed down and just said like, run with it. You could have stepped in. You're an adult. You've been through heartbreak before. You allowed yourself to go through deeper forms of it, different types of it. That was when all those things, imagine those things that I just said, that was when I used that package to myself, and then I broke like none other. The shame, the guilt, the embarrassment, the depth of, I couldn't have buried myself deep enough to be able to say that I was not shameful anymore. It was realizing the role that I played, for example, in romantic relationships, right? It was not that things were only done to me. I did things as well, and I participated, and I was part of that whole heartbreak. It wasn't fully just one way of receiving actions. It's that I was there, and I did it to myself as well. And at the workplace, it's not that an organization or not that a company or not that bosses or colleagues were doing anything to me. It was how I played a role, how I lied to myself for so long that contributed and basically resulted in that heartbreak. Ooh, I don't know how to, I don't know how to live with myself, knowing that it's interesting to go out the victim, playing the victim, because that universe is endless in heartbreaks as well. And that type of heartbreak really brings you to your knees. You're wondering, how did I let it get this far? How, over so many years, did I not see the patterns? Why did I not put a stop to it? You realize how little of you, authentically you, is left. How everything else, so once you start to look at the periphery, that was molded by someone, that was molded by society, that was molded by my culture and stuff like that. Nothing is you. Once you step out of the playing the victim, you realize you've been molded. You've lied to yourself for so long. And now it's just about untangling, not just about, but it's about untangling and really trying to find yourself, realizing that you broke your own damn heart. This heartbreak topic never ends, huh? In terms of how much it can continue to break your heart. But yeah, believing and knowing that you can break your own heart is really something very difficult to sit with. And untangling yourself from all those past decisions and allowing yourself some kindness to sit with yourself and just to work through things, It's important work. It's taken me years, and it's still taking me a long time. It's been 2 years at least that I've dedicated to this, and I am nowhere near the end. It's a gift that keeps giving. But we'll get there, I feel, with this heartbreak thing. One would hope that by talking about heartbreak in this way, by writing it down and by putting it in video this way, that something is gonna stick for someone, and that you and I will be able to recognize the next time that we are on the path towards heartbreak or already in it, and just trying to be able to deal and sit with it and realize that heartbreak is inevitable. Curses. But it really is inevitable if you want and choose to live a life of love and from love. It's ridiculous, I'll tell you that. It is ridiculous and it makes me really angry. But it seems that this is one of those, I don't know, eternal truths. You could put it that way. So my heart really goes out to any one of you who might be going through any form of heartbreak. It's not a competition. It's not that your heartbreak is less than mine or my heartbreak is less than yours. Never compare. There is no such thing as a heartbreak or pain comparison. There's no scale for that. I see you. I hope something in this video has caught your attention and basically told you that you are not alone. It feels very, very lonely. It feels like you're the only person in the world that's going through this, honey. But there are other people around you, and if they're willing to share with you and sit with you and allow you to sit with yourself and your feelings, that's what I really hope for you. And I don't have any solutions to this. Was that not clear already? I have no solutions to how to never get heartbroken, but it seems that it's just something that we're gonna have to live with and experience time and time again. But maybe there's a way to do it better, or maybe there's a way to stop it from happening so often, because this shit sucks. But you know what, honey, we're in it together. You and I, like, we're all going through our own thing, and we're all trying to cope in our own way. And I hope this video has found you in a way and helped put some words to how it is that you might be feeling here and here and here. All these things. So till next time, honey, take care. Bye, honey.